Hey guys, so we're gonna do a reading. Guess what it's gonna be about? Guess what? Guess what? Let me try this. Can you psychically get? Well, you got a title. Can you psychically guess? So you knew I was coming. You knew I was gonna do a video on this. I had to because I just did a reading yesterday morning. I guess yesterday morning about Trump, and I do feel it looks like I feel the cards are saying, spirit saying that Trump should be indicted as far as the whole document. Things are going on top secret. Apparently he waved a magic wand and he declassified, right? There's no there's, and a matter of fact, I think he was turned down on some things. There's a whole thing in that he got a let down yesterday. That is a big thing too, because the lawyer, there's no evidence of an official declassification. Remember, I talked about that. I talked about that yesterday, right? That was going, and sure enough, that's getting caught up with them. But that's not the biggest news that happened yesterday. And I've started and stopped this video several times. One, yesterday I was going to do it earlier. I was going to do it in the afternoon, but then I had a client pop up, and I'm like, oh, it is time for a reading, and it messed me up. But it's totally okay. I always look at that. Maybe it's meant to be that I stop and don't do it. Maybe Spirit doesn't like the way I'm giving the message, whatever. I hadn't started any cards yet, though. I have yet to. But every time I start and I do it a certain way, it's just like something happens. Either I got to stop, I run out of power or something. And it's all good. But what I was going to do is I was going to play Leticia James, basically showing you guys all the charges. And then I realized, I'm like, you know what, this is taking too long. You're gonna, and I think the video was absolutely fascinating. The charges when she handed them down, I was like blown away, but I wasn't shocked. I mean, I'm blown away by the amount and the level of fraud charges and things, but I'm not shocked at all. And I think if anybody sees through the transparency of Donald J. Trump, he's all about the fraud. But I was going to play, everything so you guys could see it, then do the reading. But then I realized I'm probably going to lose people if I do that because people want to see cards. Okay, so if you want to know all the charges, go ahead and there's plenty of YouTubes showing it, and it's mind-boggling. But just do a few things. Like I believe he listed Mar-a-Lago, which is maybe worth about 75 million, for about 736 million or something like that. Just give it a rough estimate, something like that. He basically inflating prices of properties, so making and trying to make his assets and worth much more than he is, which I know I feel that he's no billionaire. Now I don't know if he's ever been a billionaire in past in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to necessarily look into that, but I know his net worth is no way. He's no Jeff Bezos here, okay? I've known that, especially the way he acts so desperate for money. His stuff, how he's asking his followers to throw money at him. And I'm sure emails are going to be going out to kind of, raise money to fight, this case. Every time something happens, he'll send out that desperate email and try to get money. The emails are coming, believe me, to the followers, the sheep. So anyway, no offense to the sheep, but that's what it is. If you give him money after seeing what she said, then you've completely, you're losing it, okay, at this point, if you give him even $1, okay? Anybody who throws money at him at this point, it's insane. But anyway, so the charges like that, square footage of his own apartment, listing it for about 326 million, when she said no apartment in New York City has ever sold for that much. He said it was 3 times bigger than it really is. He always, he likes to inflate his stuff. And one of the things, just kind of, this is just a little bit of my theory. Take it for what it's worth. I really feel, because I was even looking at some articles tonight that were kind of popping up, and I've always kind of felt, I mean, you got to remember The Apprentice was going right. It was going on right around the time he ran for president, and a lot of this whole thing to run for president was because he was having a little tiff with the producers of The Apprentice, executive producers and all that, some things about salary because somebody was making more money than him on another show. I don't remember the exact story, but I know something like that was going on. And then suddenly he decided, well, I'm just going to run for president. It's kind of like, I feel he felt he kind of had something to prove to them in some way. And there was actually an article I came across tonight that when they've done the taxes, that the Apprentice was actually saving him. It was actually a good thing because he was doing very badly in his businesses. All his businesses, of course, he touches it and it's but he was doing very badly. But The Apprentice was a godsend, and he also got deals. He was like laundry detergent. He was he got some commercials that double stuffed Oreos. Apparently, he had a contract to promote double stuffed Oreos. I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, yeah, okay, because he is full of stuff, and just various things like that. But he was doing pretty good. But he started getting, how he is. He's got to make the most money. He's got to be number one. And somebody was making more money, and he thought his show was the best thing, and he blew a good thing. He basically, just like the articles are saying somewhere in there, sold an image of a successful businessman. He played a role. He played a role. It's one thing. It's always one thing he was good at is image. At least he fooled a lot. A lot of people thought he was successful, and he kind of played that. And he did that "you're fired" thing, and he actually tried to patent that saying. He really tried to patent it, and he wasn't able to do it. Of course not. It's too common of a thing. So, but he, a lot of this, I really feel, even running for presidency was because of some issues with The Apprentice, and it's kind of like he has something to prove. All because he wasn't making as much money, and he ended up within the time period. He was on that show for quite some time. He made quite a bit of money on that show, and so he could have had a good thing, and he could have maybe gone on and done some other shows if he had played his cards right and had any kind of sense. But for whatever reason, motherfucker got a bright idea to run for president, and now he's being sued for $250 million by the Attorney General, state of New York, and that's just civil. And then there's going to be criminal charges. Probably we're going to look at that in the reading today too. If that's going to go down, I don't know how long it's going to take, but this process is a very slow gathering process ever since the Michael Cohen, the lawyer, pretty much, as he went down for things Trump did, he started talking, because he ended up having to go down for certain things. And he probably resented that because Trump, got to be president. He got to play president, which was just a more image, things like that. But that's not the other thing. I will, let me, oh no, hold on. Let me talk about this. First, let me get to the response. And I'm not going to play the whole thing. I was going to do it, but I really, like I said, I feel I would lose you guys if I played all of Leticia James thing. You can look at it on YouTube if you want to see all the charges, the full breakdown. But I will go ahead and read you his response. He went on True Social, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Then we'll get to the read because it's kind of funny. His own little website, because he's been kicked off everywhere else. And so this is an article, Yahoo Sports. I don't know why it's on sports, but whatever. Trump calls the New York Attorney General Leticia Peekaboo James. He always likes to come up with a nickname for people. He has, I don't know, is that what mob bosses do? They come up with a nickname for somebody, and he's got a lot of nicknames, as people admit he doesn't like them, but he's got them. But yes, he calls her Leticia, and he puts in quotes in the middle, Peekaboo James. So Trump calls the New York Attorney General Leticia Peekaboo James, and revives claims that she's racist after she sued him for fraud. And so, oh yeah, it's all, yeah, it's because he's white. So he's playing into the his supporters and all this stuff because he knows that a lot of what his supporters are, you know, just I'm not gonna say all, but quite a few. And so here we go. Bullet point: Donald Trump lashed out at New York Attorney General Leticia James on Truth Social after she filed a lawsuit against him. And you got to watch it, though. If you have not seen it, it's about 30 minutes. And that's why I said I can't play the whole thing. It's just I'll lose you. The lawsuit alleges fraud and names Trump, his business, and his 3 eldest children. So Tiffany missed out on that. It was Donald Trump Jr., of course, the little cokehead, and then we've got Eric, the least loved child of the bunch, and then Ivanka, the favorite, of course, and Tiffany skated through that. Former President Donald Trump claimed yet again that New York Attorney General Leticia James is racist and blasted her crime-fighting abilities and called her peekaboo in an angry rant on Truth Social after she filed fraud. Okay, and here he goes, a quote, of course, Another witch hunt by a racist Attorney General, Leticia James, who failed in her run for governor. You failed in your run for president on a second term. I really wouldn't talk about somebody failing on a election. Getting almost zero support from the public, and now is doing poorly against a law and order AG candidate, high respected Michael Henry, he wrote. No, she looks like she's standing in her power. I'm sorry, friend. Let's see. Dubbing her Attorney General Leticia Peekaboo James. Where does he get this? I don't know where peekaboo comes from, but anyway. Trump said she is a total crime-fighting disaster who is spending time fighting for very powerful and well-represented banks and insurance companies who were fully paid. That's what I'm going to talk about. Something in a second. Made a lot of money and never had a complaint about me. And Trump is known for not paying his bills. He's had lawsuits for decades. He didn't pay employees. He didn't pay contractors. He doesn't pay his bills. Okay. And I'm going to talk about something in a minute. And then James' office said Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to further enrich himself and cheat the system. And a lot of properties, because it's just common sense. Obviously, if he says, whatever, he's worth a ridiculous amount of money. The more money you've got, I have no clue what his credit score looks like, of course. But then, banks kind of go based off that his maybe credit worthiness, his worth, to be able to pay back bills, are going to give him a really good interest rate. So, and it's all good. You can't kind of base on levels, how good of an interest rate you get for something. So if he would have had lower income, he probably would have had a little higher interest rate. So he's cheating banks out of money, basically, by inflating certain things. Maybe he takes a loan and then, so you figure, really, say you took $150 million loan, and it was, at 1.5% interest, where they could have got 3%. Just something you can imagine. There's a lot of money that the bank loses, right? So we could see, something like that. And then, of course, taxes and things are getting handed over to the IRS. So criminal is on the way. And she already said that they're going to look at it to analyze if criminal, which probably with this level of fraud, yes, we're gonna see what the cards say, though. Okay, right? Because we know he's Teflon Don. I mean, we know he is. And James said the conduct detailed in her suit may violate, there it is, state and criminal law, including issuing false statements to financial institutions and bank fraud. So yeah, so you got to think about that. Like, okay, but say he pays his bill, that's cool and all. Let's just say he did. He pays a New York State Bank or whatever, but they still, because they maybe calculated interest rate or whatever based on what his information that was provided. If he's completely falsifying, especially by a bunch, there's a lot of money that they should have made, but they did not because of this fraudulent stuff. So that would not be right. And I want you guys to think about that. Say you have a credit card, what are you guys paying on in interest? And certain things based on maybe your income, your credit, various things. You know how, and you guys know how sometimes it's hard to get a credit card with a halfway decent interest rate. It's just the way it is. And so you can imagine, you know. And then Trump blasted James' lack of talent. Oh, yeah, we've got all. He's just repeating himself. And then Trump has repeatedly called James, racist, of course, in his long-running battle with her. Others have noted that he has a pattern of attacking black women with insults, including calling Vice President Kamala Harris monster, a term he had previously reserved for terrorists and murderers. I'm going to try to stay careful. Some things. But yeah, but I think it's great that African American woman has taken a firm stance and handed his ass to him, in front of everybody. It's got to be embarrassing. It's humiliating. So, but it's very incredible if you listen to the charges. But to talk about just money, let's just show how bad he has paid his bills. There was something I came across tonight which was kind of funny. I don't know if you guys are aware of it or paid attention to it, but Trump and Truth Social and not paying his bill. Okay, you're not doing it right. I don't know how this happened because Google Doc is a mother. But you know how I just said that? You know what it came out? Trump and Truth Social and not penis built. That's how Google Doc interpreted what I said. What? Trump and Truth Social and not penis built. This is why sometimes Google Talk pisses me off. Let's try again. That is not what I meant. Fucking Google Talk? Penis built? What does this mean? I mean, I know he has issues with that too, but okay. Trump and Truth Social and not paying the bills. God, I can't. Google Talk. Oh my God. Where did they get penis built? I don't understand this. Okay, anyway, let's talk about it. So this is some funny stuff, guys. There is articles. This goes back about August 26th and August 27th. Now, this I found very fascinating because of what is happening now. Now, obviously, when I did the read yesterday, August 8th, I told you guys that was Lionsgate Portal. My spiritualists know Lionsgate Portal is a major kind of shift moment. It can be very positive, but, not for Trump. Okay. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I'm thinking, if you notice, I got the bandages. I'm healing. I couldn't wear a turtleneck. I don't like the way it feels, so I know this looks kind of crummy, but, we got to get this reading. This is important. Anyway, so here's from the Washington Post, which we know Jeff Bezos owes. And they do not get along. I've talked about them in reads before, that Trump and Jeff Bezos do not. I feel Trump is very jealous of Bezos because Bezos is successful. Now, I mean, right, wrong, indifferent, whether we like him or not. And of course, we all want the Amazon employees to get paid better, especially like the delivery drivers, the warehouse workers. They really work hard. Everybody, though, I'm hoping one day he will improve that. Well, I guess I don't know. But, it depends. But, at the same time, Amazon is it's a good company when you want your stuff, right? When you want to buy from it. And everything like that. It gets it to you so quick, what you need. And I love it. The fact that I can, like, say if I want to send things to my kids for Christmas, what a concept. He came up with a great idea. And I think Trump is jealous. I feel he's jealous of him. But anyway, no love lost. And Washington Post, obviously, we know Jeff Bezos owns. So, Truth Social faces financial peril as worry about Trump's future grows. So basically, Trump, he got kicked off Twitter, and he's kicked off Facebook, and he didn't really have anywhere to kind of vent his stuff. maybe go on Fox News, but even Fox News seems to be giving them just a little less airtime, and they're starting to let Ron DeSantis do a little more talking. They're just doing that, so he's going on that, what is it, that Newsmax or whatever, and so he's got less and less of a sounding board. But this True Social, where I'm sure he was hoping, he thought maybe with all his supporters, because he had supporters at one time, and he still does, but it's getting a little less. Okay, it's not as popular, and I feel some of this, there's some writing on the wall here, which I'm hoping. Okay, so let's talk about it. Former President Donald Trump's True Social website is facing financial challenges as its traffic remains puny. I love that word. When I saw that, I laughed so hard. Puny. And the company that is scheduled to acquire it expresses fear that his legal troubles could lead to a decline in popularity. Now, this is August 27 is this article. And here we are. Obviously, September 21st, it just, pretty much became fall. And now more legal trouble. This is big legal trouble. Okay. And then also, things he got some appeal thing got denied with the whole thing with the documents. And he's in a mess. He should have stuck with The Apprentice. Okay, so 6 months after its high-profile launch, the site, a clone of Twitter, which banned Trump after January 6, 2021, still has no guaranteed source of revenue and a questionable path to growth, according to Securities and Exchange Commission filings from Digital World Acquisition, the company planning to take Trump's startup, the Trump and Media Technology Group, public. The company has warned this week that its business could be damaged if Trump becomes less popular or there are further controversies that damages credibility. Okay, so come on, his credibility has always been damaged, and anybody that believes that he is a credible person is crazy. I really, I know there's going to be some people who really believe that the election was stolen. I'm sure there's some. But, there are those that I personally believe do not care. They just, they have wanted him office because that's just the way it is. They didn't want Biden because they want Republican, they want Trump, and they want their Messiah in office. Okay. The company has seen its stock price plunge. Listen to this. Nearly 75% since its March peak. I reported in a filing last week that it lost $6.5 million in the first half of the year. That should be a sign you need to read the writing on the wall. Okay, so nobody wants to take this over. This is terrible. The FBI search of Mar-a-Lago, Trump's Florida estate, fueled a burst of Truth Social user activity. And Trump himself has increasingly used the site as one of his main online megaphones. He doesn't have many. We gave them much, he said, or truth. This is, instead of tweets, they call it truth on Friday in reaction to an FBI evidence. Okay, so we know about that. There are signs that the company's financial base has begun to erode. The Trump company stopped paying. So here he goes. RightForge, a conservative web hosting service, in March, and now owes it more than $1 million. So Trump can't even pay $1 million to this web hosting service, a conservative-based web hosting service. And anybody who would give him a platform and all this is set up and do all the work to get this going, I think that Trump would actually pay the bill is insane. You just wasted a whole lot of your own money. Serves them right. The company has also struggled with some basic of corporate operation. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office this month denied its application to trademark True Social. There are other companies that have a True Social in it. There is another one, Bureau True Social, that was released in 2015, so they can't patent it. Representatives from Trump's company and Digital World did not respond. Of course, RightForge has advertised itself as a pillar of the conservative push to build a parallel internet protected from big tech censorship. As chief executive, Martin Avila declined to comment, of course, and we fully stand behind the president's his numbers. But he won't pay him his bills. But two people familiar with the dispute who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss private details said the lack of payment has fueled anger. Trump could shortchange a champion of his free speech mission. The Trump company and Right Forge have been communicating with each other exclusively through attorneys in recent weeks. The people said digital world acquisition stock slid about 7% on Friday. So this is back then. So this keeps going down. And just anything he touches turns to shit. That's the way it is. Trump's businesses have faced many similar payment battles over the years. Oh, yes. In past SEC filings, Digital World has also noted that, quote, a number of companies that were associated with Trump have filed for bankruptcy. Everything he touches turns to crap. And that, quote, there can be no assurances that Trump's media company will not also become bankrupt. Just another, disaster. In fact, Digital World's filings have been consistently downbeat on the likelihood that Truth Social will be a success. Trump's company may never generate any operating revenues or ever achievable profitable operations, it said it may. And if it is unsuccessful in addressing its risks, its business will most likely fail. And now we got this huge lawsuit. Okay, so he's not going to be able to afford to pay the bill. In June, Digital World said it had been subpoenaed by a federal grand jury and was facing investigations for both the Justice Department and the SEC that could delay its merger with the Trump firm. The deal, initially planned for this year, is now indefinitely frozen. Digital World is also filings that Trump's social network will need millions of people to regularly use and for the site to achieve a commercial success. And then it says, but Trump, the site's most popular user, has fewer than 4 million followers. So he doesn't even have 4 million followers, guys. And the site's most active trending topics, including defund the FBI, that's a hashtag, have shown only a few thousand people posting to them in recent days. Data from the site shows, for comparison, Twitter's about 37 million active people. And it's just, he can't even pay that. His True Social is failing. And I'm sure the emails are going to go out to his whatever supporters he has now. And he still, he has supporters, sort of. But they're dwindling. So this is good news, guys. They're, little bits by bits. And now he's going to get sued for $250 million. And so what we're going to go ahead and do, I just kind of want to prep you for all that stuff and everything, but I don't want to lose you or anything, is we're going to kind of see how this is going to go. We're going to look at that lawsuit, and then we want to look at Will's actual charges. Fraud charges actually happen this time. Could he possibly go to jail? Okay, could it happen and stuff? It would be very incredible and very exciting. So let me get adjusted here. And, just anybody who follows this, come on. I was just talking about, Teflon Don. So maybe Spirit sees a little hope in humanity. I don't know. But, it's crazy. He's got, and then, hey, we still got the January 6th hearings, the insurrection. We're not done with that. All this stuff. So what if to run for president, he probably does want to become president, so they think he kind of skate this mess. But all this, really, if we just, and that's why I just want to kind of talk about that. If we just take that kind of look back in time, a lot of this was all because of a little bit of ego, because he felt somebody was getting paid just a little bit better than him when he was on The Apprentice. That's how it all began. And then he went down that fucking elevator to this. Oh, shit. All right, let's check it out, guys. Oh, okay. And sorry if I've been swearing kind of a lot. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe my throat chakra's getting crazy. I don't know. I'm going to try not to swear so much. But yeah, it's crazy. So, look at that. Oh, the defeat card. The defeat card. Already showing. That's why we say pay attention to what's going on. Woo. We'll see. Reading's over. No, I'm just kidding. Let's throw it in the middle there. We're just going to play around with it and everything. But yeah, a lot of it, he sold an image of a successful businessman. And maybe there were those who believe, because it's, just kind of believe that's what he was. After all, he had a Trump Tower, and everything. And, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's and the kids, all the kids going down. So let's check it out. Oh, let me keep that going. It's pretty amazing. Look at the tower. Trump Tower coming down. I'm telling you. That's why I always like to pay attention to the back. Might have to sell Trump Tower. Did they paint Black Lives Matter in front of that? I think they did. Okay. Yeah. New York is, not loving him. He's not feeling the love from them anymore. He used to be so, popular, and he should have just, stuck with The Apprentice. He could have gone and maybe the spokesman and double stuffed Oreos. He would have been fine, but let's run for president. And he didn't know what he was doing. He has no experience, and I know people thought, hey, maybe somebody that's not a politician I was in there to do it different. That was one of the things he kind of ran on, and he was just so outspoken. Everybody just thought he was the coolest thing, and well, here we are, guys. Here we are. Okay. Whew. But yeah, I do want to. Soon I will look at DeSantis, but I want to tackle this because this is the big stuff, and I know DeSantis is a cold-hearted snake. God. This is a time, who I would have liked if he was still here, God rest his soul, is McCain. John McCain was a good man. And if he could have, not that I agree with all his stuff, but he was a good man. And he made no bones about it. He spoke up about Trump, and, God rest his soul. I'm from Arizona, so I have a lot of respect for him. Like I said, he was Republican. But Arizona liked him, even if you were a Democrat. You still had respect for the man. You still liked him. He was a good man. Okay, let's cut it and everything. I know, and I'm sure McCain is looking down, going, "I told you so." All right, let's cut it right there. All right, I know you guys are excited. Now, so the question is, will Trump lose this lawsuit? I don't know how long this is going to take. Months, years. I have a feeling I don't think it's going to drag out 10 years or anything like that. Just saying. I have a feel they want to get this moving because of the next presidential election. Just my feel. Okay. Very first card. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. So 8 of Pentacles, it does have to do with employment. This is kind of the master of the craft, so forth. That kind of energy. But it's always kind of how you look at it and stuff. Kind of that building kind of energy and stuff. But it's also can be about doing the same things over and over. That is the one thing, and he has been doing the same thing over and over for a very long time. That's definitely one of the things. But also, he is, one thing, buildings and so forth, but this always shows kind of the craftsman and so forth. But let's kind of go ahead and look at it, so a lot of this has to do with his work, his businesses, his employment. He's put in for many years, doing things the way he does. The opposing card, the challenging card, and stuff. So we've got the 3 of Wands energy, and I know it's called virtue with this, but this is also the sun in Aries. Okay, and one of the things, it can be also kind of looking at the waters, the kind of overseas kind of energy as well, and it's also kind of looking out, ship comes in, moment arrives, that kind of energy. And so I have to tell you just some of my feels. With that, I know that card has kind of popped up, as I know it can have kind of an overseas kind of energy. There could be some things that are popping up. Maybe he's got money in overseas or something. I feel kind of something extending beyond the U.S., things that could possibly come out. Just saying. That's what I feel it's kind of pointing at and everything. Now, it could also be pointing to a time as well, as it is a Sun and Aries card, that it could take till about then when things start really banging as far as this too as well. Just sometimes it could be both. Just saying. But I get this kind of feeling there's some a little more out there overseas. I know Deutsche Bank is kind of one of the things out there. We're looking at New York, but I feel like also there's maybe some things kind of hidden and so forth. Just something I'm feeling, okay? And stuff. And obviously, the Putin's pocket, that's overseas. We could say that. Let's see what's kind of hidden. Okay, so this is kind of the hidden area. And I know I do a rather extravagant kind of Celtic cross. It's kind of my own system. Sometimes I like to do, I do it a little different. Ace of Pentacles, that's about abundance, right? So one of the things, this is all, about that. And the Ace of Pentacles, this is just like this, it's this big, how do I put it? The aces are more powerful than the tens, okay? Like we look at the tens for wealth, but the aces could actually be more powerful. So one of the things really is trying to bring forth abundance in various ways. Definitely inflate abundance. This makes it kind of look, more ridiculous than it is. What sits next to that abundance card? Motherfucker. Okay, so as I was saying, we can see the Ace of Pentacles inflating, right? Okay, making it look like real abundant, and trying to keep money in. But what sits next to it is the Failure card, folks. That's why I had to laugh. I did not expect it to be that ridiculous, but I knew it was going to be something because Thoth does not mess around. I tell you guys, this is why I use Thoth a lot. I've got 1 million tarot decks and Oracle card sets. I've got well over 100. Maybe more. I don't know. Like I have a stack right here. The Failure card is the 7 of Pentacles, and let me explain that. That card is a poor harvest card. So basically you plant your seeds, and just like in the Rider-Waite deck, it shows the man, he's got kind of poor clothes, and he's basically got a pretty bad harvest. Like the leaves are just kind of, some of them are kind of rotting. It's really to express not a very good harvest. Okay. So, finances, assets, and everything. If I'm looking at this is a problem. Okay. And I've said for a while, I feel he's kind of broke. I mean, sure, he could, I know we can look at that he's got money. I mean, he's got property, things like that. Sure. But in a sense, like whatever he's got versus maybe things he owes and things like that are very, very diametrically different. And so definitely, we know he's a failure when it comes to a businessman, but debt and various things, and obviously not paying bills. So we've got this Ace of Pentacles energy here, which, like I said, the ace can be just that, trying to bring in that abundance and various things, but the Failure card is right there. It's right there, guys. Okay, and stuff. He's a terrible businessman. He is a failure at managing money. He's terrible with it. Okay. And he's been hurt in business for a while. But like I said, that's the thing, is that when he was on The Apprentice, that just like those articles say, do a Google, that was saving him because of that show. And then he kind of blew a good thing and decided to run for president because of ego. He could have gone on it and maybe continued, maybe did a different show. He could have been like Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay does one show and then he did another and another. And he could have done several things out of that, and could have been successful selling this image. But he blew that. But yeah, he's a failure as a businessman. That's a horrible card. And stuff. And there you go. Justice. Here it comes. I know, guys. I know. So we got this kind of, I'm inflating, trying to make it look like I've got this incredible abundance, right? And then, but I'm a failure. Okay, that's what I really don't have it. So he's trying to acquire more coins, you could say. And here comes justice. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So, of course, we're going to look at the lawsuit, how it's going to go. So what's going to be coming up in the next few months? So we might be looking at the Aries, around the Aries time, that some of this could go down. Which, let's see, we're in 2023. And yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, right? The election, right? Okay, so we got that Magician energy there. That can be, there are times for me, it can represent counsel in court. That's what I know. We could think, the magician also can be tricky and magic. Absolutely. There can be a little of that too in meaning, but sometimes can also be representative as well. But yeah, I actually that might kind of fit. Kind of making things appear disappear, being kind of tricky and so forth. But yeah, he's gonna need a really good team of lawyers. I just don't see how he could get out of this. I mean, it's just numbers. Once you get to the actual numbers, they don't lie. Okay, once you do the math, once you've just done the math, numbers don't lie. That's something I've learned, just in my years. Except, and then we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Now that card can be very much about images and appearances, happy family life all together, the beautiful home, this, that, emotional well-being. And then we think of, the properties, and we could look at it that way, absolutely. But remember what I talked about, image. The Ten of Cups can be very much an image kind of card, presenting everything's fine, everything's perfect, everything's beautiful. So, everybody's got everything there. The dream, the Ten of Cups can really even be representative of the American dream. Absolutely. And we'll look at one more there. But just, all this, these things coming, kind of shattering that. But I do got that victory card there. Now, as these things are coming up there and everything, it's like, I don't feel this is his victory here because of all this hidden things are coming into light there. Certain things are kind of coming up. I would say, let me kind of look at that. Because I don't think he's going to win this case, guys. He's not going to win this case. Three of Pentacles. What I feel this is saying here is the next few months, one of the things we're kind of looking at and stuff is what, as this is coming up in the next few months, certain things. Remember, the outcome, we haven't got to that. As he's really focused, he's going to start focusing possibly on that presidency. We got the works card. Okay, we've got the works card, which can be about teamwork, but also handshake agreements, deals, all kinds of stuff like that. So I feel one of the things is trying to get in the works. He really wants to get, he's going to start really looking actually more at the presidency, because one of the things, if he scrambles and he's going to be like, hey, if I could get that victory and get into the presidency and stuff like that, maybe I can overcome some of these things. Okay, so he's going to start, I feel like, looking more and more at ways to do that. Hence why that Three of Pentacles is in there. Okay. Because I'm not feeling that he could get out of this lawsuit, at least, any kind of legal way. I mean, there's just the numbers don't lie. Except, but the sorrow and the suffering, really, I mean, he's definitely caused that. But I feel this is really for him at the moment, in a sense, that he is suffering. Okay, he is suffering. All this stuff is coming down on him right now. So that's why I feel like he's kind of like, he hasn't announced that he's going to run, but he's definitely feeling, like, say, get with, his kind of alliances here, to try to, maybe if I get that victory as president and things like that, I can, skate through all this stuff that's coming down on me, right? Get in a position of power. I'm leader of the country, right? So I feel he's actually he may start looking more and more going that direction to try to get out of all this stuff that's coming down on him and stuff, aiming for that victory and stuff. Like I said, this is not an outcome energy yet, but this is what he's hoping and stuff. So, but of course, how that goes down. Remember, I'm not ready to read yet on the presidency, but this is just some of the things I'm kind of feeling. But where are we kind of out there? Ace of Wands and stuff, opportunity. I really feel a lot of this is really like Leticia James. We've got an opportunity, maybe change some things there. Now, Six of Cups can be about past nostalgia. It can also be about children. The thing about this, as this is getting kind of messy, especially for the kids and things like that, I think also, I just get feels with Ivanka and stuff. It could be that, the kids, that they might start turning here and there. There just could be a little something there. Maybe Ivanka could possibly maybe turn or try to break a deal, like she doesn't want to, for one thing, go to jail. Okay, when that further goes down. We're going to look at that in a sec. But right now we're looking at the lawsuit. We're looking more at the lawsuit kind of energy and stuff, but looking at that kind of opportunity, there could be a little something. I'm wondering, like, I feel like they might start kind of going at the kids, to try to give him up because he's really the main one, right? Just something I feel, and I feel this is why also they're kind of trying to bring the kids into it, because one of the things, if they can get them all, if they get them all on there, maybe some of the kids will start breaking and saying something, maybe throw dad under the bus, just something I'm feeling there. Okay, just something I'm feeling. Let's kind of see where we're at, though. We've got that sorrow card for talking about feelings, attitudes, emotions. Let's kind of see how he's feeling. How's he feeling? Where's he at? What's he scheming? Yes, we've got the Eon, which is the Judgment card. So he's definitely feeling the judgment coming on. Yes, but also the Eon card can be about resurrection as well. Okay, so there's a few things. One of the things, like I said, I feel like we might be wanting to avoid judgment. Okay, you could say Judgment Day and stuff. All this, because justice is coming right here. Okay, all this failure, all this scheming he's been doing. Like I said, if I could get that victory, get with some alliances. Okay, then, and if I could have a resurrection and go with the presidency, so I do feel, trying to run, it's looking like he's gonna try. Okay, I do feel that he lost before. I don't know if his ego could take a second loss of an election though. Okay, but it's kind of. But then again, like I said, just because you try to run doesn't mean you'll get the nomination. Where, like I said, there's still some things there. I'm not ready to read on it just yet. I just feel like Spirit, is just kind of feeling us out. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Okay, so let's look a little more. But yep, it's Judgment Day. What do we got there? Knight of Wands energy. Now, that is not normally his card. His card is normally Knight of Swords. But to me, I feel this kind of shows his anger. Energy. While a lot of times he goes as the Knight of Swords, which is his card for me very often. He's angry and he's fiery. And I feel that you're going to see him start kind of flipping out and raging. Okay, just some kind of energy. We'll do one more for his feels. Oh, he's angry. He's pissed. And stuff. But the Princess of Swords, the news that came out, I'm starting to get a little warm here, guys. Which can be news, communication. All this news kept coming out and coming down. I think he's very embarrassed about it, of course. And all this, this negativity. This is making his image look bad. That he's this super businessman. All the deals, and everything. And you know how he is. He lies and stuff. But this, he is so absorbed into his image. She just took it down in 30 minutes. Okay, everything. Now, let's look at the environment. I'm going to look a little bit environment, like for environment, really kind of Leticia James and also New York and just what's in the environment. We're going to pull a few there. So we got completion. Oh, yes, and stuff. So one of the things is really, one thing she's talking about is at least for 5 years his days are going to be over kind of doing business and things like that. So we're a lot of things are they're going to kind of come to an end, and they've completed a lot of their investigation, okay, and all that. So it's pretty solid stuff, a stable foundation. They've got a good case. Okay, that's what the Four of Wands can be, also a good stable foundation. Okay. Oh, the devil, and this is one of the kind of things and kind of the energy there and stuff is I feel like they feel like they're taking down the devil, definitely, and stuff, going after that negativity. It's tough and stuff. They're up against a lot though still. In the same thing and stuff, but nope, they've got the strength card is popping up, Nine of Wands. They've got a strong case, they've got a solid, stable foundation, and they're ready to just take down the devil here. Okay, they're ready to fight it and stuff. They're and they're ready to show that this wickedness, the lies, the exposing and stuff, hopes and fears and stuff. That Dark Prince and stuff, the Knight of Discs. I feel, and we've talked about this. This came up in the last read. Certain things, one of the things being concerned is with followers and people just start going out and raging, because see, that's when they see that kind of bull, there could be some unrest. I'm feeling, with things coming out for those who really love him, there could be some unrest. Okay, what's the outcome though? Let's kind of see. Hopefully, Spirit gives me a good one. Okay, so we got the Princess of Discs. The Princess of Discs can be an announcement of kind of finances. I need to pull a clarifier with that. Hold on. I've got a feel, though. Got a lot of princesses coming in. Let me just, sometimes I like to look. hold on one second. Hold on one second. Just some vibes. I need to look at something. Give me a moment. Sometimes what is Ivanka Trump's birthday?
According to Wikipedia,
oh, her birthday's October 30th. No, she's not. That would be water.
30th, 1981, is an American businesswoman and the first daughter of Donald Trump.
Okay, she's actually a Scorpio. She's actually a Scorpio. How do I interpret this one? These are announcements, especially the announcements and stuff. Those are what the princesses can be. They can be like the pages. I definitely do look at that princess and everything, and then also the Princess of Wands energy. Just kind of countering that kind of fire. I definitely feel some things coming in there. With this case there, I do feel he may try to do a run for presidency. It's just kind of some things I'm feeling. Okay, I do feel possibly a run for presidency. I definitely feel a lot of fire and anger, but not necessarily that he gets a nomination here. I'm not ready to read on that yet. This feels still up in the air yet. I will eventually soon. It's just still a little bit early. I'm not sure exactly when Spirit's going to be like. Go for it, read it. But yeah, I do feel just some things here. Some kind of announcements here. Hold on one second. Because if for some reason if he did end up becoming president, it doesn't mean he can necessarily get out of this and stuff. But there's still a kind of a threat there. Let me just kind of go ahead and look. But change is coming. I've got the change card. I'm doing Kipper at the moment. Lord, guys, imprisonment. He could possibly go to jail. Okay, we're still going to read on the criminal. We're still... Okay, that's not looking good. And we've got the mature woman. Now, I actually feel this is Leticia James. And stuff. She's coming in strong, sharp kind of energy and so forth. She's definitely the one there. And stuff, but we got that toil and labor and stuff like that, and I feel like that's what she's saying is all this scheming he did really took away from people, people in the city of New York and things like that, people that are being affected, that kind of work for him or base, and all that. Adjudication, yes, of course, going to court, of course, hearing all the sides, was just kind of that bottom and everything. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like he may try to get some, alliances and partnerships and things like that. I feel a couple things there. As I look at sudden wealth and community, now I'm not saying he's going to get super rich, but, looking at the sudden wealth and community card sitting there, he's definitely going to be trying to get donations. One of the things, if he runs for presidency, what's happened? People campaign and raising money, and things, and sending out the emails. That's one way. He knows he can raise money. I don't know if he'll get as much as he could have, a couple of years ago, but I do feel definitely he's going to be doing that. But yeah, court, they're going to court and all this, and no matter what, so far, I feel, he's going to have to pay. And I see that imprisonment. They've got their eyes on criminal charges 100% and stuff, but he's going to try. I do actually feel he's going to try. I'm not saying he'll get the nomination. I'm not ready to read on it yet. Just something tells me wait. I just tried to go with the flow. Maybe Spirit wants to kind of feel out the people. If these people are going to keep being bad. And so just a thing I feel. But, some announcements are coming kind of in there. I feel him kind of countering, like I said, that Princess of Dis, which could be, some money and Owen and charge, some kind of thing. And so trying to counteract that with a run, hence the fire energy, maybe run for president there. I feel him kind of trying to counter with some of that energy. Okay, so I do definitely feel he's got in his mind here that one way, that maybe I could get out of it if I could be president. He's definitely thinking that, guys. Definitely. Especially with the sudden wealth and community card sitting next to each other. That makes me feel he's looking for the followers and the supporters to fund him. Okay, to save him. with some things here. And then, like, for example, say, okay, so I didn't get the nomination or whatever, but I raised all this campaign money, and if I get charged, I can pay the bill, some stuff like there's some things spinning in there, and that's what I feel he's kind of looking at, okay, which is kind of crazy stuff. And but that doesn't mean he'll get it. I'm saying he's gonna try, go to the community to try to get that wealth. But there will probably be some dumbasses who would actually give him money, like some churches trying to raise money to save the Messiah. Okay, this is crazy, and that if people, give him any money, but there will be those who do. I still feel that there are those who really, believe him or whatever. Now, we're going to look at the second one. I know you guys are curious. Will there be criminal charges? And we'll kind of see if that leads there. I'm kind of feeling that imprisonment, getting hopeful, but I do feel could he try to stop it with a presidency, or could even the presidency stop it if he became president, right? Let's check it out. Now we're going to do read number 2, because I know y'all want to know. Inquiry minds want to know on this. Okay. But that imprisonment card is coming up. So now we look at civil. I feel him trying to counter it, but like I said, it doesn't mean he gets the nomination and stuff. And that money coming in. I mean, I feel, obviously justice is overlapping his thing there and stuff, and Judgment Day and stuff, and him trying to see that ruin card, him trying to maybe resurrect something. He's got that. He's definitely thinking about it. So I just, well, like I said, the one thing Ron DeSantis, he's starting to get more support from Republicans. He is, it just, which he's a douche too. He's another douche. I mean, he's probably, I don't know who's worse. They're both technically cut from the same cloth. Ooh, okay. I know y'all want to know. Carly wants to know. Okay, will Trump, this is what we're asking, get criminal criminal charges? Could they lead anywhere? And we'll see if Spirit reveals an outcome of that. May or may not. I don't know. In case it's not ready to be determined, but definitely, I think criminal charges, Spirit will answer on that for sure. Okay, so we're going to look at it. Here we go. Okay, so we've got the 2 of Wands. That is a Dominion card. Okay, and that can be a crossroads card and everything. So we definitely, like I said, we know Trump, he's sitting at the crossroads, go presidency, whatever. Or he could have a whole thing. Hey, maybe he doesn't want to be president, but he could do a whole campaign to raise money, right? And just, milk his supporters and then, and then he's got all this campaign money, right? You never know. Just some scheming, but he's at the fork of the road, he is. But how are we going? What's opposing? Whatever plan. See, that Princess of Pentacles is overlapping here and stuff. So remember I was talking about, some having to kind of pay the piper, the announcement, the money. He's going to lose that lawsuit. It's going to go down. He'll lose that lawsuit. I mean, there's no way he could get out of it. Except, will they find the full $250 million? They'll probably have to come up with some kind of fairly exact number. How all the math kind of weighs down at the end, I am not exactly sure, but he's going to lose that lawsuit. I'm pretty confident of it. The charges are just too immense. But I feel something maybe messing with the kids. Maybe Ivanka could I just something. She might turn possibly. With some kind of hidden areas and stuff. See what we got there. Okay, so we got the sun kind of popping up in here. Let me kind of go ahead and look. The sun and the oppression card. Let me kind of sit with it here one moment. Just kind of focusing on it. I mean, I know definitely things coming into the light. I saw if there is that, and then that oppression card. Let me kind of look here. I feel one of the things he's definitely going to try to sell. Of course, we know this. Sell the public and everything. Everybody's coming after him. This is a witch hunt. There are people that may even believe it. That try to put him into jail. There are even people that are so manipulated. Like I said, they feel he's the Messiah. We did the read last night, and the Hangman was the very first card, right? Remember? So I definitely feel, he's going to be selling that. Look at him coming after me. This is evidence. This is, all that, he's going to be trying to do that. But let's kind of go and see. What's that overlapping there? But yep, change is coming. So there's even more changes kind of coming for him. Definitely not. It's there's a whole lot of stuff coming in hard and fast. So some of that, maybe even that insurrection kind of stuff is going to pop up here. So what's some kind of things there? I'm going to kind of let's go ahead and open this up to maybe the next 6 months in this energy. Open it up to 6 months. Criminal, we got that defeat card. He's definitely going to lose some battles, take some losses here. Definitely that is going on and stuff. Let's kind of go ahead and see. Yep, there we got the Emperor. So the Emperor can be law enforcement. What I've been doing these readings, that could be the Department of Justice. That pulled up in last night's read, I believe in the same exact position. Okay, so definitely with one of the things he's going to be dealing, we know, with the whole issue with the top secret documents and all that. But let's kind of look at the ruin card and stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be tough stuff, guys, and stuff that's coming in as far as this is all ruining him and everything. I feel criminal charges for things he's been doing and stuff. I mean, you think an insurrection and this and that would take him down, but maybe it will be fraud in the end. Okay, except sorrow. Yep, more suffering coming his way. He's oh my god. Oh, you messed up your whole woo. Except that's suffering. But let's kind of go ahead. But we're going to have to be patient with this process. As far as with temperance, it's all just patience. Everything is divine timing. The divine is in charge. So as far as criminal, they've got the civil going on, the whole, a lawsuit energy. But criminal is going to take just a little bit longer. But like I said, I'm kind of feeling it here. I'm giving this some 6 months energy, so I feel maybe it was 6 months. It's probably, at least we'll get kind of closer to it and stuff. But just people are got to be patient and stuff. And for those who want this to happen now, be patient. Okay, so let's kind of look at things. There's that Dark Prince keeps coming. And the Dark Prince, like I said, has been representative of kind of people. Will they, get funky, retaliate, go in the street? There's concerns with that. And that's what the Dark Prince has been eluding me. And it popped up last night. It popped up in the last read for the civil. And it's popping in for the criminal. Okay, so this is one of the things they're trying to be very watchful. And I feel one of the things, let me just pop up here. I know I said it last night, but let me say it again. It's important. As they're trying to bring down all these charges, and they're legit charges, guys. That's what one of the things, hopefully, and if anybody supports Trump, these are legitimate charges, guys. There's a lot of evidence. Okay. I'm trying to make it very painfully clear that you just can't, that this is not casting illusions here, that this, like I said, numbers don't lie, certain things, a certain fraud that has been going on. So one of the things they do want, and that's why she was very, notice for those who watch Leticia James list all the fraud charges. I mean, she could have went up there, we charged them with fraud, you'll see it later, and left it that. She broke it down because they want the public to know and understand the truth, what's going on. She used numbers, figures, facts, everything they've got. So it might snap people out of it because they don't want this to happen. Okay, they don't want everybody charging some kind of insurrection-y kind of thing, crazy stuff. They don't want violence, all that. So that's why when they're going to come out, and even, as you can see with the January 6th committees, they're trying to lay it out for the public so everybody hears everything and stuff. And this could be why some of this, like Truth Social, is kind of showing some evidence that some of the supporters are going down just a little bit more. Okay, it's changing little by little. It's getting there. Okay. So, there's some good at that, but they are concerned about that. So this is why they're trying to lay out everything very carefully, because they know public perception and seeing everything that's going on. They're trying to lay it bare so everybody is aware of everything. Okay, so now let's look when it comes to the criminal feelings, attitudes, emotion. How is he going to feel when this comes? I know we're beating a dead horse on this and everything. Okay. kind of interesting stuff, energy and stuff. Yeah, there'll probably be a little lashing out with the Prince Swords, but I got this walking away energy here, that's kind of popping up in here and everything. So one of the things, is he's gonna feel he's gonna kind of push this off, shrug it off, and I definitely feel he feels he can walk away, walk out of this, walk out of jail kind of energy. It's like I kind of feel like he feels it's coming. It's kind of like I had the song "Coming in the Air Tonight," Phil Collins. That song. I had that playing in my head today. But I feel like, even when, because I do feel these charges are going to come, he's going to feel, I can get out of this. Because he's always gotten out of everything. He's going to kind of push certain things away. And he's going to sound off. And he's going to have a hard time believing that he could go down. I feel like he won't be grounded in reality that this could happen. Except, but maybe, there's his card. That is his card, Knight of Swords. Okay, that is his always have been my trump card. Let's kind of look at that and see. That's what I'm saying. Magician, he's going to try to get the best lures. He's going to hope they can be tricky and get him out of it, work their magic. Absolutely, they're popping up again. And then the Four of Swords, energy and so forth. Just kind of lay low, kind of plotting and planning and stuff. He's definitely, trying to figure his way out of this and stuff. Hopes and fears. Hold on. Princess. What do we got? The outcome and stuff. So the outcome is a strength card. So a lot of that, with the Nine of Wands and everything. Did I just drop a card? No, I felt something. No, I did not. So a lot of it with the criminal, what I'm kind of feeling, with some stuff. I so far haven't got an actual jail card yet. Usually Eight of Swords. Well, we did get the imprisonment card on that one. So we did. But the Ten of Swords, the ruin. I mean, it's coming in. The suffering. He's got suffering coming in there. That sorrow card is for him. That's suffering. Okay. And with the Nine of Wands, energy like strength, I feel there's going to be a very strong case against and everything. Of course, going to try to defend himself, but some things kind of look in there and stuff. That imprisonment card just pop up. It's very strongly possible, but I want to give a caveat, not trying to caveat my own read. There's a whole lot of stuff like the walls closing in. Let's put it this way. And stuff. My concern, like I said, that Prince of Dis, that my dark prince keeps popping up. So just concerned, that this could upset some people. But at the same time, there is still some hope. I haven't got the star in any of these reads, but I still feel maybe a glimmer that more and more people will start waking up and realizing and recognizing, like the fraudulence and everything. And just being aware that, wait a minute, he's bad news, and stuff. And those who really want, say, a Republican in office, putting their like kind of hope in there and everything, they may, fall away from this and stuff is what I'm kind of hoping. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, the imprisonment card is there. There's a good potential of it, but I don't feel it's 100% fixed just yet. On that one, but I do feel definitely that lawsuit. But I feel definitely a scramble to try to be president. But as far as the nomination, that's not fixed. That is not fixed in the air. But, like I said, I've got this feel, Spirit just kind of holding off because, it's almost like would Spirit unleash, him on us as punishment. So everybody, okay, we're going to give you what you want. You want him so bad and just watch everything be a disaster. Okay, which should probably be the end of America, to be honest. I'm going to pull some Lenormand, just kind of look at that. Yeah, the scythe. It's cutting him bare. It's cutting him down, cutting him bare. What's that? There is that, what is it? That Johnny Cash, God's gonna cut you down. That's what makes me feel, it's definitely coming in there. Okay. And stuff. And see, that's the thing. I've also got the Clover, though, at the same time and stuff. Could he kind of slip through, luck out? Remember he had that Wheel of Fortune? He's always got, lucked out of stuff. But I see I've got a little see that ship? And we talked about that, that Three of Wands. I feel like maybe putting some things overseas or doing something. Could maybe try to do a plan of escape. That is a possibility. Because we got that walking away in there. Would he possibly walk away? Would he try to get out of this country? Maybe. There could be a little something there. Maybe. Okay. and stuff. Let's kind of go ahead and see. Yeah, and we've got that mountain. He's a big obstacle. If he wants to run for president, though, everybody's trying to stand in the way like a mountain. Okay, it won't. If he wanted it, it would be. It's not going to be like before. It's not the same. It's a different kind of energy. Let's kind of go ahead and look. Yeah, I've got the lady card here. I'm telling you, I get this vibe that maybe Ivanka could possibly turn, because the thing is, if she felt like if jail and stuff like that, I just get this vibe. Let me do just a real quick mini look at that. I'm just getting a feel. Because that's the one that, well, they would love to take down the kids too. And I'm not saying she could skate through everything, but I just get this feel that Ivanka just might, she might be real upset about this. And, her getting named in this, that she might actually, maybe, would she turn over some things? Would she cooperate? Let's look at it. Now, Ivanka, she is... Oh, the Queen of Cups was popping up last night, wasn't it? Okay, let's just kind of look at it. She's a Scorpio, so she could be his little princess too, though. But let's look and see if a water sign does pop up. I still feel last night Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a queen, so I would still look at her more of as a princess. I don't, not that she's a kid or anything. I just, let's just kind of look. I just want to do just a quick layout. I just get this feel she might say something, maybe turn him in, give him up. Just something I'm feeling. That lady popping up in there, that makes me feel hurt. Something I'm feeling. It would be very interesting. Especially if I go back months later and I find out this happened. Woo! It's a heavy duty stuff, guys. Okay, will Ivanka, will she fold and just, that's what I'm kind of feeling. Okay, so we got the Emperor here. Okay, so let me put it there so you guys can see. So we got, the law, Department of Justice, all that. I'm looking more, lawsuit, yeah, but really imprisonment type of energy. If they could possibly, charge her or something. There could be stuff, because this is all getting turned over for everybody. She's maybe like a co-conspirator in all this fraud, right? Okay, so we got that Seven of Swords. Oh, guys, this is the betrayal card. This is the betrayal card, and stuff. One of the things also, we know he's, sneaky evidence, but one of the things is could she take some evidence and pass it on? Could she betray Donald Trump, her dad? A little something there. Okay, there you go. Okay, Three Pentacles. In court cases for me, there are times it can be handshake agreements, deals. Ooh, guys, handshake agreements, deals. And in court cases for me, sometimes it can be that somebody makes a deal to avoid maybe a higher penalty, a charge, some kind of, maybe they plead in some way or do something. So as I'm kind of looking, just some things I'm feeling as I'm kind of tuning into Ivanka's energy. I don't necessarily get Don Jr. I don't think Eric would turn, even though he's the least loved. But I'm tuning into Ivanka's energy, and I really get this feeling. Okay, because think of her in prison. Do you think she'd do well in prison? Okay, even in federal prison. I feel this would really cause her a fear and stuff. So I'm feeling maybe could get her. Okay, this is somebody who's always lived a pretty, rich lifestyle, whatever. And then they're going to throw you, and you won't have nothing. Okay. And so I'm telling you, I feel she may make a deal. I'm not done. Just kind of see what's possible there. I said, oh, that's kind of interesting. I should get the lust card. So, really when I kind of look at that, she does. I mean, well, we know he has, definitely a lust for power and stuff like that. But maybe, she kind of has, she's not a saint or anything like that. We know that. But, still, she's could turn it and kind of think of herself here. Let's kind of go and see what we got. And then we got that completion, Four of Wands, case closed. I'm going to pull just one more at the top. Just one more right above. Let's kind of see what we got there. Okay, we got that Eon, Resurrection, Judgment. So just looking at this energy, this seems to make me feel a little bit there that there is a possibility. Okay, so we got Department of Justice. Okay, that's my Emperor card. That's kind of my energy, just kind of for the law, and they're definitely going to war. Okay, this is war. You could kind of say with Donald Trump and the family and stuff like that. They're really just kind of handing it to him and everything. But we got that betrayal energy. She's it makes me feel what you could be betray dad. He's been doing this sneaky stuff. She may pull some evidence. Because this can be sometimes a little bit about evidence. I know it's called futility, but this is still Seven of Swords. This could be a little kind of a betrayal. A betrayal kind of thing. He's really the one who's the sneaky one, but I still feel something, she betrays him. Okay, then maybe the Three of Pentacles, they kind of sit there and maybe make a deal because she doesn't want to go. She's got her own thing. Strangely, she's got a little bit of that lust card. In a sense, she kind of, she's thinking of herself, here and everything, kind of, she's done her own scandalous things, and things like that. Definitely, we know she's no innocent and everything at the same time, but she's, she's got a little bit of lust for power in her own right and everything, she, just the way it is, but yeah. And then the Four of Wands, the completion, kind of wrap up the case. But that whole, that Judgment, Eon, looking at even her own resurrection, that this is kind of, her way of kind of coming back from the dead here. It's up, but facing that Judgment, and right underneath Judgment is the Three of Pentacles. Right underneath it, could it be to, avoid the big judgment, of things going down and all that stuff. Make a deal. So I actually have a feeling that in all this, especially when it goes to the criminal level, okay, and hit her in her pocketbook and everything, make her broke, and all that stuff, because remember, it's everybody is being sued for all this money, right? But of course they're going to go mainly at Trump, but the criminal, they're going to send this over for the whole family. And I feel there is a very strong, just something, it tells me, I just get this feel that Ivanka may actually turn on him. And stuff, and which is kind of funny because that's the one, it looks like it's his favorite kid. But I get this feel because I want you to think about, the guys, the boys, whatever, they can be arrogant in their own way, and it is what it is. Maybe try to be men with their dad or whatever, try to be tough, but just she's kind of a delicate flower, in some ways. That the thought of her, like, for one, being broke, penniless, but also in a jail, and so I feel would scare her enough that she's like, nope, I'm not going down with this sinking ship and everything. So I feel she's gonna try to make a deal and stuff, which is crazy, but that's what it looks like is going to go down. So it's some crazy stuff, guys. What's going on? So it's looking like I'm not 100% on that imprisonment just yet. I do see the card. They're definitely aiming it. Definitely criminal charges coming. As far as that though, I will tell you though, even though I'm not ready to read if he's going to get that presidential nomination, it's coming though. Very soon I will. I actually feel that he's kind of got a weak chance, believe it or not, of getting it. It's just getting weaker and weaker. That certain things that this all these charges coming down, it is, there's going to be some that are just, that believe all kinds of weird stuff that are just, still going to support him or whatever and stuff. And I gotta see what the televangelists are going to say. I really want to, I'm gonna look at that and see what the churches are saying now. They still think he's the Messiah, but you know what I'm saying. But still, in seriousness, I feel he's losing, and even his Truth Social is starting to show it. That, I mean, and he can't even pay $1 million bill, He's broke. He's broke. You saw the failure card, guys. You saw the failure card. It's just everything he touches, business wise fails. And if he would have just stuck with The Apprentice and his double stuffed Oreo campaign and selling a little, it was laundry detergent. Double stuffed Oreos is something else. If he would have just stuck with that, he would have been okay. He could have, but his ego, he just had to have more money. And here we are. But yeah, I really feel Ivanka is actually going to turn on him in all this mess. She's ready. She's ready. She's going to turn, and it's going to be crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this read, and I have a feeling more. This isn't it. There's more to come and everything, because there's still, like I said, there's still the insurrection stuff. If he goes down for that and everything, but it's, oh Lord, have mercy. And if you felt bad for Amber Heard, you got to feel bad, even worse for this guy. He's got it real bad.